Hi everyone, Sandra Vale here at Homesteading Ways. Today we're going to be canning up potatoes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is chop up our potatoes. Well, I guess that's second after washing and peeling them. Now you're just going to want to make them uniform size. You don't want them too small or of course too big. But too small in particular, they tend to get too soft. That's also why I don't can them sliced. Now, they're not going to be exactly uniform, especially when you're doing them by hand. But, all potatoes are a little bit different in size and shape. So you're just going to try and get as close as you can to what works for you. Now, a lot of people soak their potatoes in water and lemon juice or ascorbic acid to keep them from browning, and that's fine, that works great. I don't, only because it seems to me that just keeping them in plain water seems to do just fine. So I don't want to add an extra step. So it's pretty much why I just keep them in the plain water. They really don't darken if they're covered the whole time. So once I get all these chopped up, I'll come back to you. Okay, so now we're getting the jars out of the canner. I tend to do it one at a time. You can do it however you like. I like to keep them warming in there ahead of time so that any hot water isn't a shock. Now I'm adding a half a teaspoon of sea salt. I'm only using sea salt at the moment because it doesn't have iodine in it. You do not have to use any salt if you do not want to. I use it because I like the flavor, because sometimes I'll even pick the potatoes out of there while I'm getting them ready for supper. So then, put my hot water over here, and then I just grab all my potatoes and get them in there. This is cold packing. The one time I did hot packing, I ended up with a whole bunch of canned mashed potatoes, and I really didn't want that. I use russets. I can get them fairly cheap. They're all over here in Wisconsin, and from what I heard from more seasoned canners than myself, any boiling potatoes work well. It's the baking ones that tend not to do as well. I'm not sure why, but that seems to be the deal. I'm going to push them in there pretty good. And then we're going to add our water from the stove, because you're going to have a pot of boiling water going. You're going to pour it all over your potatoes. You may lose some water through canning, but that's okay. There still should be plenty in there. You're going to want about an inch headroom as well. So once you get your water in there, make sure to go around your jar several times to get any air bubbles out. It'll shift everything too. And you may need to take something out or even add a little something once you're done doing this. Having canned potatoes is such a convenience, especially on busy nights. It's great because you can throw together a dinner fairly quick, or if you have unexpected company, you can pull a can out and add a little extra to your dinner. Okay, now this looks pretty good to me. Might add just a tinge, no, maybe not. Tinge more water. You're going to wipe these rims off really good. Never ever want anything on your rims. I'm going to get my lid here. I'm going to get it in the canner. And as soon as I have all 7 of these ready to go, I'll be back with you. Okay, as you can see, the vent is steaming. You want that to go on for about 10 minutes. And that's about what it's done. And now I'm going to put the weight on. Now once the weight is on, the pressure will begin to build. See how this little doohickey here popped up? That's the start of it, and then you'll notice your pressure will start to go up. I need to do mine at 10 pounds for 40 minutes because they're quarts. If they were pints, it'd be like 35 minutes. You can't start timing until you're at your pressure. So once this hits the 10 pounds of pressure, that's when I'm going to start timing my 40 minutes. Now if it goes a little bit over, that's okay. But if for some reason your pressure should drop under the 10 or 12, whatever yours may be based on your elevation, you need to bring it back up again and then start your timing all over again. You can't really mess around with this because you could get sick. Your food won't process properly, and you know the whole point of doing all this is to have safe, good, homemade food on your shelf when you want it. So get your pressure up to where it needs to be. Check your elevation. Mine's 10 pounds at 40 minutes. It's already going pretty good right here. So as soon as it gets up to the 10 pounds, I'm going to start my timing for 40 minutes. Then after that, I'll shut it down and wait for it to depressurize. And then I'll be back with you. Well, there you go. 7 quarts of potatoes. And I think it was about 12 pounds it took to make those. They're some kind of yellow russet, so that's why they don't look like a beautiful snow white color. But I want to thank you for watching the video. I know some of my videos don't come out really clear. They're not the highest quality. I'm working on getting cash together for a better camera so I can make better videos for you guys. But until then, like I said, I appreciate you watching. Please comment and subscribe. That would be super. It was great talking to you, and you take care.